Hi guys, I'm presenting my book talk today to 13-year-old Walker.
Hello.
And so Walker, I'm going to be telling you about some books today, and all of them have to do with survival. So I'm going to start off with this book. It's The Son of the Beaver by Elizabeth George Speare. And we're going to start off by reading a passage from the book to you. Matt stood at the edge of the clearing for some time after his father had gone out of sight among the trees. There was just a chance that his father might turn back, that perhaps he had forgotten something or had some last word of advice. This was one time Matt reckoned he wouldn't mind the advice, no matter how many times he had heard it before. But finally, he had to admit that this was not going to happen. His father had really gone. He was alone, with miles of wilderness stretching on every side. So imagine this is the 1700s. That's when this book is set. There's no electricity. There's no technology. Your family has built a cabin in Maine in the middle of the wilderness on land inhabited by Native Americans. Your mom is about to have a baby, so your family must leave, but they need somebody there to stay and protect the house. 13-year-old, would you think you could do it?
No.
Well, Matthew is going to battle things like bears and theft and strangers for at least what his dad says will be 7 notches on 7 sticks, so 49 days alone. You'll find out if Matthew does when you read Elizabeth George Speare's The Sign of the Beaver. Okay, our next one is a survival situation, but this one has to do with kind of a thing that happens nowadays in real life. So this one is by an award-winning author named Will Hobbs, and it's called Crossing the Wire. And it kind of gives us a chance to walk in someone else's shoes to kind of go through their situation. So this one focuses on a 15-year-old named Matthew who must support his family because his father has died. So the passage we're going to read from here, he's explaining to his friend Rico kind of how rough his situation is. So he says, "Things were not simple for my family. They were scary. Rico knew I had to raise a crop of corn to sell every year, but he didn't know that the little money my father had left behind was long gone, and the price of corn kept falling like a crippled bird. Rico didn't know we were teetering on the brink of disaster. My sister's hand-me-down clothes were practically in tatters, no toys for my little brother, and Rico didn't know what it felt like to be hungry, really hungry, the way we had been this winter. Turning the soil these last few weeks, sometimes I got so lightheaded I thought I would faint." So this dire situation leads Victor into deciding to try to cross the border from Mexico into the United States. He faces moving trains he has to jump on, starvation, border patrol, freezing cold nights, and burning hot days. He must sleep in the snow and also battle drug dealers. So, do you think his efforts will pay off? We'll find out if you read Crossing the Wire by Will Hobbs. Okay, the last one is a nonfiction book, and I think this one will super catch your interest. Okay, our last book here involves both survival and destruction, and I'm going to read a little passage out of this one too. "This is a difficult story to sum up. The making of the atomic bomb is one of history's most amazing examples of teamwork and genius and poise under pressure. But it's also the story of how humans created a weapon capable of wiping our species off the planet. It's a story with no end in sight. And like it or not, you're in it." In Steve Sheinkin's Bomb, The Race to Build and Still the World's Most Dangerous Weapon, he provides us with insight into the inner workings of what it took to build the world's most deadliest weapon. So let's think about the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan. It destroyed 70,000 buildings, killed 70,000 people on impact, and then killed 100,000 more people afterwards. So you ever wondered who made it and where they made it and how it was made, this is the book for you. So people were involved from all walks of life, including soldiers and scientists, presidents, and spies. The book even gives us insight into different things that happened, like the spies used Jello boxes to confirm their identities with each other. It tells us about a parachuting team that tried to dismantle a German factory so the U.S. could build the bomb before Germany did. And we even learn about the soldiers using mattresses to try to keep the bomb from detonating it when they loaded it onto an aircraft carrier. So it provides us with pictures of the real life people involved. Here we have a picture of the leaders of the project. Here is the gunner side team, the parachuting troop that tried to dismantle this factory. And then lots of pictures throughout. I'll just show you a couple more. This is a picture of the bomb itself. And this is actually the test bomb's mushroom cloud whenever they tested it. Okay, so if you want to kind of feel like you were really there involved in the project, or feel like you're walking along with the spies who tried to steal information, or even there to witness the aftermath, you should read Steve Sheinkin's Bomb, The Race to Build and Steal the World's Most Dangerous Weapon. That's it. Happy reading.